So this is my mini Surron, a fully functional mini electric Surron, and today I want to discuss some of the problems with it. So at first glance, this seems like it's pretty good. The wires are completely messy right now, but over time of using it, I've discovered several problems with it that go from kind of minor and expected to pretty major. So we'll start off with some of the minor ones, which are the durability, especially the rear swing arm. Originally, I printed all of these in PETG with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle diameter, but almost every time I used a self-balancing feature and drove it around, if it hit a bump or crashed badly, or say the chain or rubber band popped off and got tangled in the rear wheel, it would just shatter these rear swing arms, which were super annoying to replace. So I ended up actually printing this one out of PC blend, which is fixed pretty much all those problems. Parchment PC blend. And in my next bike mini Surron build, it's actually made of all PC blend. The full frame is made of PC blend. I would definitely recommend it. It's ridiculously strong and works really well. Second problem is going to be actual assembling of this rear wheel piece. So originally, I had it so that you would put this pulley thing on the axle, then slide the axle through, and while it was through, you would glue this in, and it was like annoyingly hard, like really difficult. So like it would be super hard to get straight and strong. So on this one, I actually cut a notch in the back of this one that allows you to just pull back on this one a little. It can bend enough, and then just pull this rear wheel out so that I can just swap the rear wheel if it's damaged, or swap the swing arm easily. So this just has a small notch in that one, and it doesn't have any effect because the chain is pulling it right back into the swing arm, so it doesn't really have any effect while you're riding it. It works really well. So that's probably the best fix. The third problem is actually going to be assembly difficulty, which is you just have to be pretty decent at soldering. Like, it's small, so a lot of the stuff has to be pretty small, especially these attachments here. And like this series connector, which connects to your two 1S batteries in series. This is actually two batteries. And it's pretty small. You have to do a solder in a like pretty small space. And then also, if say one of these connectors, these are just very small connectors, and a lot of the times the wire right here can get damaged, and it'll actually break the wire internally but not look broken. And if that happens, you have to actually cut it off, and then it's pretty hard to actually solder a new one onto the battery. So that's probably one of the hardest parts. But then the biggest problem I've found so far is the actual amount of power the battery pulls, or the motor pulls. So with some help from ChatGPT and some just calculations and stuff, I found that I'm pretty sure, because my measurements weren't perfect, so we had to do some estimates, that the actual size, amount of power that the motor can pull is 11.84 watts, and the maximum that the batteries can push is 11.1. So if the motor was fully stalled or like incredibly slow, like being like pushed, like you're holding the rear wheel or something, or like pressing the rear wheel down hard enough into something that it was actually like slowing it or stopping it, it can actually pull more than the batteries were intended. And I'm not sure if that's 100% true, since again my measurements weren't accurate and I was getting ridiculous numbers for the resistance ratings of these motors that just could not be correct. So I had to do some estimates. But one thing that I am pretty sure is that the motor can pull a lot more amperage than the batteries can supply, which the batteries can supply a max of 1.5 amps continuous with short bursts over. And I think if it's stalled, it takes more than that. So in the next build, I found some of these PTC resettable fuses, which are essentially fuses that as they heat up, they act as resistors. So they only start really heating up after their hold point, which for the ones I have is 0.9 amps. So it should, during normal use, which is probably going to be 0.6 to 1.2, it will work fine for at least a long time. But then as it creeps up towards 1.5, it's going to be heating up a lot faster. And if it ever takes a ton of power quickly and goes above 1.8 for more than a second or two, it'll actually fully like slow down the motor by like acting as more of a resistor as it heats up, and then it will just get functional again as it cools down. So I'm getting those for the next build, and hopefully they stop that problem. It could be that the batteries are just low quality, and that's why they're having like some very slight puffing, but I just want to make sure that's fixed by the next build. So that was really all. I just wanted to go over some problems, and my build video should be coming out for the Sur-Ron after April break, probably maybe a week after that. It's going to be a little while since I'm away for April break, and I'm just waiting for a lot of parts to arrive that are coming from pretty far away. I have finally figured out the exact rubber band size that's definitely recommended is this size 18 rubber band from Alliance, like rubber bands or something. Yeah, it's on the printables page, but this is a like perfectly sized rubber band and allows the motor to still spin at full speed without providing like really any friction, but stays attached really well. So that's all. Yeah, thank you for watching.